AOA Podcast live on a St. Patrick's edition.
Happy St. Patty's Day, everyone.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. We've got a lot to talk about. Frank, you got green beer. That's dedication.
Come on. I didn't even go to a bar for this. This is homemade green beer.
You are in the spirits, my friend.
Damn right.
The Madeline McCann girl who took the DNA test got some devastating results back. We'll share it. I don't want to say too much about this, but by all accounts, it looks like we could have our first ever presidential criminal indictment.
This seems... Yeah, I've heard this story before.
Me too. Well, let's talk about it.
Right.
Epstein and his relationship with JPMorgan has extended to the kingpin over at JPMorgan, Jamie Dimon. Lots to deal with there. We'll discuss. Speaking of lots to deal with, Gwyneth Paltrow, always. Do you know what stealthing is?
No.
We're going to share it. Plus, growers versus showers. And we've got to talk about Diplo.
We do?
We certainly do. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I don't have green beer, but I do have
Guinness. Nice. That counts.
And I'm going to pour it into a fire department mug. This is the most Irish thing that I could possibly do.
It's pretty darn Irish.
Right? I mean...
I almost used my Cheers mug from straight out of Boston's.
Oh.
Yeah, but it doesn't hold as much as this does.
That's good.
It's smaller, the Cheers mug.
Nothing like a green beer on St. Patrick's Day. I woke up not feeling St. Patrick's-y, but then as the day went on, I was like, "Oh, we're going to become festive."
You get into it.
Yeah. Do you think this ruins the credibility of the podcast? It feels ridiculous talking to people about serious stories.
I don't know if we had much credibility to begin with. So
good point.
We're good. When you start from zero, it's very hard to diminish that.
It's a good point. Make sure you guys are sharing this video on your social media. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you drop a comment. All those three things are super important to help our little algorithm fairies out there that push our content around the internets. Where should we go first, Frank? Trump?
I got a question. No, this is not flavored beer. It's literally Michelob Light with food coloring.
That's the most trashy thing you could do. Different. That's pretty good. That's what somebody from Chicago would do. Good for you.
That's how you make green beer.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that not how you make green beer?
Well, with Michelob Ultra, yeah. Okay.
I don't know. What do you want from me? It's what I had in the
house. Where do you want to go first? Madeline, Trump, Epstein?
Madeline.
Great. Madeline McCann. We're trying to search for this young lady if she's still alive. Of course, this Julie, whatever her name is, she keeps switching her last name around. She's working with a private investigator right now, and she just submitted her DNA test. We talked about that last episode on the podcast. And although we don't have the full DNA results back, she did get preliminary blood work back. And surprise, surprise for this young lady, she might have leukemia. How about that?
Oh.
How about that? Yeah.
That is, I did not see that coming.
Right? A little twist.
Holy cow.
Yeah, obviously she's had an awful childhood. She comes out, thinks she's Madeline McCann. She has all this heat behind her now. Everybody's helping her out, private investigators, the DNA test, and then Dr. Fia Johansson, that's Miss Wendell's representative. She said that her blood work came back a little abnormal. So they're getting her in front of some doctors here in the U.S., and they've determined that she could have leukemia, but they are awaiting the results and some further testing. And if she does need any treatment, that Dr. Fia Johansson will make sure that she gets it.
Well, on a positive note, I mean, it wasn't, maybe it's not in, since she didn't know something was wrong, maybe it's not as advanced that they caught it very early. That kind of thing. That's got to be a plus, right? She didn't even know she was sick or anything, and maybe this is an early catch, so that might be something.
Who knows? We'll see.
Also, They did the DNA test, or they? I mean, what else?
Yeah, she
They got,
submitted it. They're waiting. They're waiting for the results.
I mean, they got the results that there might be leukemia that didn't come with the other results.
Did not. No, that was early blood work is easy. Blood work you get back instantly.
All right.
DNA stuff is a little bit more complicated. So
I feel like you throw both things in a machine and it tells you. No, is that just like a sci-fi movie from the future?
listen, the McDonald's milkshake machine barely stays up. Okay, these things take time. You know,
How many scientists you got working at McDonald's?
not many.
All
Not many. What's story number 2?
right. Trump.
Okay. About 4 hours ago, story started to break everywhere that there would be a meeting taking place between law enforcement agencies, the Secret Service, and the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, that they're going to meet next week and discuss how to handle a potential indictment against former President Donald Trump.
Okay.
Some of the things that they talked about included whether or not he should be handcuffed. He will, of course, need to be fingerprinted at some point and processed like every other defendant would be. The Secret Service is obviously giving them a bit of a hard time, trying to take the lead and not allowing certain things, like, for instance, for him to be handcuffed and taken into the building.
Wow.
That was according to a source that spoke to Fox News. 3 sources that told the New York Post that if an indictment is sought for the hush money in the money allegedly paid to porn star Stormy Daniels, it could come down as soon as next week. District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office, law enforcement and Secret Service are expected to coordinate on how to secure Manhattan criminal court should Trump be charged. And the court will defer to the Secret Service and Bragg on what accommodations Trump may receive.
I feel like it's almost, correct me if I'm wrong, open and shut, because there's a check with his signature on it showing he paid Stormy Daniels. He's got to sign that check, no?
Yeah, but not really, because if you're the CEO of a large corporation and they're like, here, sign this check, here, sign this check, you're just signing checks.
You don't read checks. You know, what is this for? What is this for?
I don't think
130 grand. You don't.
I'm not so sure.
Okay. So let's say there was nothing.
I feel like you're not taking me seriously.
No. How could, what are you talking about?
Go ahead.
I don't even look at you half the time. But I feel like, and he's denying all this stuff. It's like, well, I feel like we knew all this 4 years ago. Why is he denying it now? He didn't deny it back then, I feel like. Unless he did, and I just didn't hear it. I feel like I never heard him, or at least don't recall hearing him say, I didn't do anything with Stormy Daniels.
Somebody, I believe on a plane, maybe, was it Air Force One? I'm not sure. A reporter asked him about it, and he said no. Now, I saw a clip of a Trump attorney on some TV show where he basically justified that by saying, well, there's a non-disclosure agreement and he can't talk about it. So why would he answer that question?
But the non-disclosure agreement applies to one party, doesn't it? Like if I have you sign a non-disclosure agreement, I could talk about it, but you can't. Right?
I mean, I really don't know. That's a good point.
I don't know how that works. But I guess it depends on what's in the non-disclosure. But why would there be a non-disclosure agreement if nothing happened?
These are all great points.
What are we not disclosing here? You're signing a non-disclosure to say that nothing happened.
See, for me, it's not so much about the case. What I am interested in is this Alvin Bragg, because I've said this before. If you're going to go through all the trouble to indict a former president of the United States, take Trump out of it, right? You had better have a open and shut steel curtain case, because I mean, you hate Donald Trump, right?
Not a fan.
Okay. If he beats this, there is going to be no stopping him. And I feel like that's something that liberals just can't get through their head.
Yeah, but he beat 2 freaking what's it called? Impeachments, and
I understand that.
He's
but-
still a tool bag.
Right. And we impeach presidents. It's happened before, but we have never, ever, ever, ever indicted a former president of the United States. And I don't I'm not quite sure. I mean, you got to be a pretty intelligent guy to become a public, to become a DA, right?
Yeah, sure.
But is he really thinking this all the way through? Because
Well, what is he going to do? Not follow through? I mean, if you have evidence of a crime, he's the president. I'm not going to. The law applies to everyone, president on down.
I agree. You're not wrong. I agree with that. But again, it is a very big public embarrassment to our nation to arrest this guy.
I feel the exact opposite. I think it's no matter who it is, just take Trump out of it again. Former president, if we hold them accountable, I think it's the exact opposite of what you're saying. It shows that no one's above the law, and we take our laws seriously. You break it, that's it. You're getting the same treatment as anybody else, and I think that's a credit to our legal system.
You break it, you buy it. I think we should put that in the Constitution somewhere.
Boom, that should be it. Yeah, that would be good. That doesn't always happen though. Sometimes you break it, and they go, don't worry.
Just get out of here.
Just leave my store, please.
Yeah. Wait, it's so funny when you get a kid. Like I went to a basketball game at the college near me here. I brought my son. We get back to the seat. I spilled the soda like all over the floor, just all over. And I just looked up and I was just like, can somebody please help me? Because I can't.
Why do you even do things?
I don't know.
Who lets you out of the house?
I hate doing. My wife says I got to do things.
That's a lie.
She said
he'll watch the game on the TV and you'll be fine.
You're probably right, but she said he'll grow up with a complex if you don't act like a father for once. I don't know. That's what she said to me. She was yelling a lot.
Like a father, but do you have to take him to a college basketball game?
I was drunk. I don't know. I just seemed like a good idea.
Basketball with him in your driveway. That's just as good.
No, I can't do physical activity. You heard me come up the stairs and sit in this chair. I was breathing.
You sit on the sidelines, and every now and then the ball comes to you. You throw it back to you. Good shot, son. Good shot. Try it from here. Try it from. That's all. That's your role. You don't have to play one-on-one with him.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw him the ball every now and then, or play catch. Have you played catch with your son? Baseball catch.
Well, he's never actually caught a ball, but yeah, we've thrown the ball around a little bit.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
He's got his own glove, and you toss it back and forth. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've set it all up.
About taking him to games.
Listen, I've set it all up. So when the second husband gets in here, he's going to have everything he needs to be a success.
It's like you're not even like you don't even miss a beat. Just you're right in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's very considerate of you.
I do what I can, All right. Now this Raven, take off the buckle, dye that hat black, get white felt and glue.
On even AOA. Oh, like that'll be the AOA hat?
Oh, I get it. I thought that was like an Abraham Lincoln kind of quip on my behalf. I don't know.
Okay. You could be Abe Lincoln. Wait, you have to get rid of the mustache and you'll be Abe Lincoln.
He didn't have a mustache?
He had a beard with no, it was like the Amish thing he had going. Beard with no mustache.
That's true. Yeah, I believe you're right.
Everybody's commenting on the hat, though. Everybody loves the hat.
Well, the hat, I'll tell you what, it's shining off the studio lighting here. You can't really, it goes up pretty tall.
It's a good thing you're wearing that hat because nobody saw this. Did you have it on as we started?
I put it on just after we started.
Just after. Okay. If any eagle-eyed viewers would see Anthony's hair is in rare form tonight.
Do you want to see my hair?
His hair is pulling it's pulling a Kramer.
It was big the other day too.
It's about 1.5 feet tall tonight.
Look at
that. That's up there. You got some good lift on the old coif.
That's about 8 inches, I would say.
All right.
I mean, I tell my wife it's 9.5, but
you tend to exaggerate on that a little bit.
I think I can go toe to toe with Kramer on on bouffant. Would you call this a bouffant hairdo?
No, I'd call it a. I wouldn't say afro. I'd call it a. I don't know.
Easy with afro and talking about Kramer with that sensitive area over there.
That's
Is
there a line? Yeah.
I've never screamed out a racial epithet during a stand-up show.
During a stand-up show, no.
Supermarket's a different story, but a stand-up show, I would never ever do that.
No, that's just poor taste. But you got the jersey on, and it's nice. The green everywhere.
Drinking a Guinness out of a fireman's cup.
And you're not even the slightest bit Irish.
Not even close. In fact, I've said a lot of really terrible things about Irish people over the course of my lifetime.
Witness.
But everybody's Irish today, so what are you going to do,
Yeah, did you have corned beef and cabbage?
I sure did.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why I'm fighting back belch right now.
Oh, it's the gassiest day of the year.
All right, let's talk about this for a second. How do these Irish do it? I don't understand it. Cabbage, beer. I'm bloated beyond belief right now.
Is cabbage, corned beef and cabbage, like, all right, it's a St. Patrick's Day thing, but is it like like, if you're in Ireland, is it like a weekly thing? Do they have it all the time? Or is it
That's
just
a good question.
Do they do it on St. Patrick's only too?
I don't know, as I am really, truly racist towards Irish people and don't have a single one as a friend, so I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know.
You have a couple Irish friends.
Anybody in the chat, I would love to know that. Like, if you go out to dinner on a Saturday night, do you get, like...
In Ireland?
The corned beef and cabbage in Ireland? I wonder. I wonder.
Sinead says, no, they don't.
And Sinead M. Gallagher, we're going to trust, is very Irish. We're not going to have to ask for any sort of... Madeline McCann DNA test for you, Sinead.
She could. That could be her married name. You never know.
Congratulations on becoming our official Irish correspondent.
There's that. I mean, how big are they on, I guess I want to say the stereotypes, the green, the clovers, all that stuff.
Well, that nation is green as all hell. I mean, it is lush and gorgeous.
But like, is shamrocks everywhere? Do they do up the Irish thing like we do on St. Patrick's Day?
I wouldn't think so, no. I wouldn't think it looks like that's section in CVS that is going to become Easter next. I don't think so.
It's not like that all year round.
Yeah, and I don't think that they like the green beer thing. I really think that that's a Chicago thing.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably don't do the green. Yeah. Christine Colson says no green beer there.
Mm-hmm. No green beer there. No green beer, says any. Sinead. That's all a myth. I agree. Yeah. I don't, and here's the thing too. This is what breaks my heart. Let me speak for all the Irish people because I am practically one. The corned beef and cabbage thing, I don't know where it came from because it's the worst.
I love corned beef and cabbage.
No, I like it too. But it is dead last on the Irish fare menu because give me a bangers and mash any day. Give me a shepherd's pie any day. Like, you look at all their other cuisine, it's so much better.
Yeah, but bangers and mash, I feel like that's also British. That's a widely European kind of thing, I think. What about excuse me, what about haggis?
Paul Haggis? I don't know. He hasn't directed anything in a while.
Yeah, no, not recently. Okay.
I know. Is haggis a food? I have no idea.
You don't know haggis?
No.
It's sheep's stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And you jam a bunch of the other organs in there and you boil it.
Why? Because there's not enough organ in a sheep's stomach?
No, it's not. It's actually illegal in America. You can't serve haggis here in the United States, but they have it in Ireland.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's one of the things that are banned. I guess I don't know exactly why. Oh, haggis is Scottish. I'm sorry, my mistake. I thought haggis was Irish. It's Scottish.
Deborah says it's Scottish. Sinead says it's English. See, this is the tricky part. I got to be honest with you. England, Ireland, Scotland. I mean, it's all there. I don't know who's got what thing.
Pete.
We're gonna
the Pete.
Yeah,
it sounds Scottish. We were right on the border.
Yeah, it's like arguing what's New York and what's Chicago and what's Philadelphia. It's like it's all so close. Who gives a shit? It's all the same.
It's all a mishmash.
We can't be bothered knowing.
Haggis, I guess, is Scottish. I think you're right. It's all about the tripe. I agree. Tripe is underrated.
Mike with green beer equals blue duty. Very true.
Well, I'll let you know.
I'm glad he brought up the tripe too. I was just going to say that sounds like tripe, which is an Italian thing, which is the most disgusting thing.
I actually
ever.
I used to have it when I was younger. My grandfather used to make it all the time, and there was also a pizza place in our old neighborhood. I don't know if they still have it. There's a pizza place in our old neighborhood that used to have it on the menu, and I used to get it from them whenever we ordered there, and it was always good.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say, but it's tripe. It's cow stomach, chopped up and cooked in like a red sauce. It's really good. Oh, they still do. My brother says.
I don't know if it's really good. It's like
I enjoy it.
It was like rubbery, kind of the texture of it is
A
tough.
little rubber, but you gotta. It depends on how you cook it. You can, if it's not done right, it could be rubbery, like calamari.
Yeah,
If it's
that's
not
true.
done right, it could be rubbery.
You got a bad mod. It could ruin a night. But
Deborah Carson says, "I'm in Ireland. Never ate corned beef and cabbage. Yuck."
See,
You don't.
Yes.
So if you've never eaten it, how do you know you don't like it?
I think like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a corned beef and cabbage is like the hot dog to America. It's like everybody thinks that's all like
We have it every other night.
yeah,
Hot
but
dogs
we
all the time.
really don't. You
No,
know,
we don't. When's the last time I had a hot dog? It's been a while.
what would you
Last
say is
summer.
like the American food? Like if you had to pick one dish.
Hamburger. Even that came from Hamburg, Germany.
I know it's weird. All our shit came from somewhere else.
Something American. I guess hot dog, but that's Frankfurter. That's also Germany.
Yeah. Pizza kind of was
Pizza.
invented here, but you know,
American apple pie.
I guess so.
Steaks I mean, you have steaks everywhere, but I feel like American. Like I don't know why I feel like we do it. Maybe the freedom fries.
We did invent freedom fries. You got to give us that. Pizza's American. So true.
Maybe, but I'm trying to. Yeah, what the hell?
Can I tell you what I think?
No.
Okay.
Moving on.
Macaroni and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
I feel like mac and cheese is like our deal.
I feel like canned cheese on a Ritz cracker. That's the American.
Opening up a Fritos sideways and putting chili and cheese on it seems to be the most American thing we've come up with.
God.
You never seen that?
No.
That's like
sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's like a big Midwest thing. Or here's a new thing they're doing. They're putting chili on top of spaghetti. Like the Italians don't have enough problems.
God.
Gross.
That's gonna see you figure the spaghetti blocks up your colon and the chili shoots it right out. So it evens out.
It's true.
That's not bad.
Keeps you regular.
In Boston, you got the beans. Every city has their own thing, I guess. But something American, I guess. Yeah, New York bagels. Is that
Bagels?
I'm sure bagels were in Europe before they were here, though.
It's-
Barbecue, yes, barbecue is good.
That's a
that's
South
pretty
thing,
big.
though.
Yeah, but that's American.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Barbecue is a good one.
Yeah, Laura L. with the barbecue. Yeah, I don't know how much. I'm thinking of any other country, and barbecue never comes to mind. Like imagine an Italian barbecue in Italy. You never think of that, or anywhere else. I'm sure they do them, but I feel like barbecue's synonymous with America.
I feel like you have to have a food now if you want to be a city in this country. Like if you don't have like a food, you could lose your citizenship.
You know what I was thinking earlier today? Actually, I was thinking, you know what? I want to pick a state that doesn't have a hockey team and make a hockey team there. How do you do that? Do you have to be a millionaire to start a hockey team, or can you go to the bank and say, listen, I have no money, but hear me out now.
I'm not stopping you. I want to hear
Vermont
this, bitch.
doesn't have a hockey team. All I'm saying is we do the Mount Pilier, I don't know, Sasquatches, and we're the hockey.
Okay.
What do you think, bank? Can I get a loan for a couple of mil and start a hockey team?
I don't know how you can
NHL
get
kind of
turned
thing?
down for that.
What are the downsides? We make a hockey team. We join the NHL. I feel
Well,
like Vermont, they got nothing to do. They'll go see hockey games.
they don't. Where are they going to play in the public park?
No. They'll go see they'll play. We'll get build a stadium.
Oh, we'll
You got
build
to
this.
go. You got to go all in. You got to get a. I'm sure there are stadiums there we could put a hockey team in.
NHL size arenas. You think will exist
I'm sure
in
there's
Vermont?
concert halls or whatever.
How big do you
sure-
think a concert hall is?
I'm sure there's some kind of sports facility somewhere in Vermont.
Now I know you've been to a hockey game because I've been to one with you. Those things seat like 20,000 people.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure they've got, or at least a facility that you could build. Like I'm sure there's a, those big domed like tennis things. Like they have the space for it at least, and like parking. I feel like it's not as complicated as you think. It might be very expensive to do it, but I feel like it can be done. What's
This
to
is
stop
so
us?
great. I don't want to burst your bubble. I don't want to tell you all the bad
I'm
news.
also 3/4 of a green beer in the hole here.
He's 3/4 of a Michelob Ultra tinted green, and he's like, "I got an idea, everybody. We're gonna bring a hockey team to Montpelier, Vermont."
What's the problem? I think Vermont could use a hockey team. I think any state where it snows more than it doesn't, we needs a hockey team.
That's not a bad point, actually. That's
Okay.
not a bad point.
Does Vermont have any sports team?
No, because it's barely a state. I don't even think Vermont has 20,000 people in it
Yeah,
to fill a hockey arena.
but at least 20 of them want to play hockey.
Well, let me say this. You started this conversation with, do you have to be a millionaire to own a hockey team? And the answer is, you have to be a billionaire to own a hockey team.
Yeah, but I feel like you become a billionaire once you own the hockey team.
Not
Or
technically.
once you, well, how do they start? They start by gajillionaires putting up the money for it, right?
Well, the last team to come into existence in the National Hockey League was Seattle, and they paid
Right.
$650 million.
All right.
Plus,
so you go to TD Bank, Capital One.
Well, plus they built $1 billion, arena. Keep pitching your
Am I
idea. Go
losing
ahead.
you? Think I'm losing you. All right, so you build the sports arena. You get you say, "Hey, TD Bank, let's sit down. Let's talk this out. How much are we going to need? We're going to need this many million to pay the players and
I'm sorry. Did you say TD Bank?
TD Bank.
You should go to SVB. I hear they have great rates right now.
They're doing good.
Yeah,
They're only going to go up from here.
yeah. It's
Now
there's
they're
only one place to go.
Now they're government backed. I'm sure they've got a big old safety net.
You're making good points now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think
the way to
Seattle's.
bring that bank back. That's how you bring that bank back.
I think Seattle's arena was 1.2 billion, and then 650 million for the team on top of that. So just around shy of $2 billion is what you need to bring a hockey team into existence. But I'm sure Vermont can figure it out with their tennis court arena and
I'm sure they've got a big old
all the snow.
empty lot somewhere that we could put a freaking hockey rink in. You don't think there's one empty lot in Vermont that we could stick a hockey rink?
I'll line up some meetings for you. Okay, just give you the weekend to put it all together. What up, J Sabs?
Oh, nothing. How about you?
Nothing. We're on topic number 3 already, which is the lovely Jamie Dimon, JPMorgan, and Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, yeah, this.
The U.S. attorneys in the U.S. Virgin Islands are arguing that JPMorgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon bears some blame for allowing Jeffrey Epstein to operate and continue his sex trafficking operation because they basically funded, they held his money and were giving him money, and this Jess Staley is in there doing this whole thing. So here's what's going on. Jess Staley handled Jeffrey Epstein's account, and they knew in 2008 he was a convicted sex trafficking guy. And JP Morgan Chase filed a suit against Jess Staley saying, how could you do this? How could you have this guy, as a part of our financial institution? And the attorneys down in the U.S. Virgin Islands are like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, JP Morgan. We have evidence that says that Jamie Dimon knew Epstein was a part of the bank. So, not a great look for Jamie Dimon, and not a great look for Jess Staley and JPMorgan. They could be getting a big blow here from this.
That's bad news.
Super bad news. When you think about it, if that bank would have cut him off or helped seize his assets in 2008, they would have probably saved a lot of people.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. That would have only looked good for them, number one. And number two, you're helping the cause here. You're helping.
Yeah, but he had a ton of fucking money and a lot of connections, and they just wanted to keep raking up the money. So they were like, "Yeah, look the other way on the huge sex trafficking deal." Gives
There's
a
got to
shit.
be. What happened? Isn't there like business ethics? You know?
Mm-mm.
No, all right.
Oxymoron, my friend. There is no such thing. Gwyneth Paltrow. She did a podcast interview, and people are
Wasn't
giving
on
her...
this show.
No.
Cunt. Oh, there we go.
Jeez.
There we go.
We're getting blocked.
Yeah, exactly.
How much did you have to drink?
Not much at all.
Not much.
No, not nearly enough. I need to like really go out and drink.
You do. Well, we're all drinking. What's going on with you?
I don't want anything I have in my house. I don't want beer. I don't want
No green beer today.
Cheers, Frank.
Cheers.
I'm not even the slightest bit Irish.
Clean.
But everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
She was on Will Cole's podcast. The fuck is Will Cole?
Come on this show if you're gonna go on a podcast.
Anyway, she was talking about some of the things she does for her health, and then everybody was like, the backlash on that was like, you look like shit. Like you look like you just
look bad.
They asked her what she ate, and her response was bone broth.
Ew.
Bone broth is supposed to be very good for you, for your, it's like a big energy kind of thing. What I understand.
It's what I understand that it is nutritional too, very nutritious.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like if somebody asks you what you eat and you look like you haven't eaten, I don't know if bone broth is the answer you want to give.
She probably just shits it all out. That's why she has no weight on her, right?
I mean, how old is she? She doesn't look bad. I don't think she didn't look. I saw what she looked like in that interview. She didn't look like she was wearing makeup, and she looked okay.
She looks like an asshole to me. I'm sorry. I'm on Chris Martin's side.
That's rare to be on Coldplay's side.
Yeah, I'm on Coldplay's side. They were talking about some of the things that she uses and some of the methods and techniques, and she admitted to, quote, using ozone therapy rectally.
Hello.
How can I get signed up for that?
I don't even know what that is. I thought rectal ozone therapy is like when you go into the bathroom after your dad used it and you're like, what the fuck? And you get all delirious. And
I thought,
did a horse die in here?
Oh.
Remember when you were a kid going into the bathroom after your dad was in there? You're just like, what the fuck?
Literally, that's what my mother used to say.
Did a horse die?
I would endure the stomach pains and give it a good half an hour. Nope, I'm not going in there.
Yeah. Okay. According to the Cleveland Clinic, ozone therapy is when medical grade ozone gas created by using an ozone generator device is administered to your body.
So what? Nitrogen, oxygen.
That's gas in your ass, basically.
It's gas in your ass. That's what they should call it. It's better than ozone therapy.
I mean, I guess it's better than methane. And
Question.
if you shove an oxygen and nitrogen up your ass, I don't know.
That's
good for you?
Do you just get so filled up with gas that you just fart it out?
I hope
Maybe.
So.
Maybe she feels like bloated and doesn't want to eat then. I don't know. I don't know why
maybe.
she's... Half of these... Listen, I could understand... What is it when they shoot water up your ass so you shit everything out? What is that called?
Enema.
Colon cleanse. What's it called?
Colonic? Is that a colonic?
Mm-hmm.
Or colonic? Same thing.
That I get. I get. Everybody that walks out of that goes, you have no idea how light and airy you feel.
Oh, I'm sure it cleans out all kinds of stuff that,
Yeah.
Cleans out your whole system, I'm sure.
And I get it too, because when you go for a colonoscopy, like when you walk out of that place, you're kind of like, oh, I do feel a little like I could do a Fred Astaire jig right now.
Oh, you've had one before.
One more, and I get a free sub.
One, I volunteer for them monthly. He really loved his dad joke there.
It was good. It was good.
Oh shit.
That was good.
Yeah, you haven't had a colonoscopy yet. You're of age. You're 40.
You haven't lived.
For women, the recommendation I think is either 45 or 50. For men, it's younger now.
Great.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you passed out for it.
Men should start getting them at 30. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's the time to just get into the groove.
Just get it once every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think I want to know why you got one.
You probably don't.
How old were you?
I was young. When I got my first one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Frank drove me.
I did.
I made Frank drive me. Yeah. I don't even know. 24, 26.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to know why. I definitely don't want to know why.
You don't want to know why.
We'll just give you 2 words. Hot Wheels.
I thought it was going to be glory hole.
Oh.
That's 1 word, I think.
Either one works. Oh, my brow's bothering me.
Mine too.
1 word?
Guess I'll just have to take it off. Oops. Gotta go switch to my OnlyFans.
Fucking, what was I going to say now? That was it, I guess, with Gwyneth Paltrow.
I put on a green shirt for you.
So she shoves gas up.
What?
I said I put on a green shirt for you fucking assholes.
Thank you.
We did the same thing. What's with the hostility?
I bet you both wore that to work today. Well, Frank, you don't go to work, so I bet you just wore that to watch The Price is Right in front of your TV. Anthony?
I've been wearing this since yesterday, and I haven't left my house.
I put this on 2 hours ago.
What did you wear today? Not a green shirt?
Janine's upset. Janine's mad.
Why is Janine mad? What's going on?
I don't know why. I'm going to guess. Can I guess why?
You need nitrogen and oxygen.
Yeah, you want to blow some gas up your ass?
No, I really want a colonoscopy.
Yeah. Janine's mad because she murdered a dog on Wednesday, and now she's feeling guilty about it.
Shouldn't have done that.
No, you had to watch your nieces. You had like 4 kids, a dog, your husband. You've got a lot of pent up anger in you.
The cat.
A cat.
What about the hamster or whatever?
Yeah, gerbil. Wasn't there something? Good call, Frank.
He's no longer with us.
What happened to the guinea pig?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Told you.
I put that up my ass.
Oh, boy.
Actually, no, I sold it to some guy on Craigslist to put it up his ass.
Hot.
As long as it's going up someone's ass.
I'm really upset that I'm not out for St. Patrick's Day. That's what my problem is.
Are you? Where would you rather be than right here?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. I was just kidding. Ha ha ha. No.
Where were you gonna go?
No, I don't go out on St. Patrick's Day. It's amateur night, right? Just like the night before Thanksgiving.
It's all crowded and insane. By the time you get to a beer,
everybody's doing beer farts. No thanks.
Beer farts. I'm working on a couple of those right now.
And apparently you get blue duty according to Millhouse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why aren't you celebrating with a beer at home though, or some whiskey or something?
I honestly don't feel like having a beer right now because I don't have anything great in the house. I'm like,
What about any kind of alcohol?
I don't like whiskey really, because then I get from it WD. That
doesn't seem like
whiskey dick.
Got it.
Doesn't seem like you would be able to get that
ever.
Yeah, I don't see how that works.
Study her. No.
You seem very angry. Is it because you had to pay the ticket? Did you pay the ticket?
I didn't pay the ticket, but we We just had one of the most horrible experiences eating out.
Tell us about it.
You and your husband, or
Yeah, and the fucking devils.
thank you, Anthony.
What? You and your husband? What'd he do? I didn't even look.
you said you had a bad experience eating out.
What was her name?
No, that probably would have been better, honestly.
Robin says, "Round the guinea pigs for the table."
Oh, that'd be nice.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Set that up.
So, all right, I'm gonna preface this and say, some people say preface. I say preface.
Good for you.
Nobody says preface. Go ahead.
When I go to a chain restaurant, I don't expect top-notch service. I really don't.
I'm already got a problem with this story. You're in a chain restaurant.
I had the kids
Unless
with
it's
me.
PDQ.
I had the kids with me.
Can we guess? Let's see. Frank and I are going to guess until we get it right.
Okay.
Winner gets. Loser has to take a picture of their blue shit the next day. All right, Frank, you can go first.
That. What are we guessing?
He's like, done.
What chain restaurant?
All right, Arby's.
No.
Applebee's.
No.
Shit.
Fridays.
Yep, you got it.
Damn it. Damn it.
Then again, I think we're the losers if you're the one taking a picture of your shit.
All right, so you rolling on into Fridays.
Yeah, because I was like, I had like kind of a hard last 2 days. I did not want to cook. I was like, let's just go someplace fast. Let's just go there. What I really wanted to go to was a Mexican place, but I knew that they would be crazy for, believe it or not, tonight. They would be
For St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
What place? Tell me now.
Del Fuego.
I don't think so, but go ahead.
Yeah, because we tried to go a couple of years ago. It was an hour and a half wait.
Wow.
On St. Patrick's Day?
On St. Patrick's Day. So I was like, let's just go to Fridays, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so what happened?
And plus, the kids were with us. So there's like certain places we can go with them before they start to act like, what's.
Monsters.
So we get there. There's nobody there. There's like a few tables. Besides that, nobody's there. Okay, fine. We get seated. No one comes by for 25 minutes.
Oh. You couldn't flag someone down?
I tried to. There was like a booth behind my husband where it was like the service station, and there was like 3 waitresses there, all on their phones, not looking up.
Nobody knew that you were their table.
Well,
yep.
So I used to watch this YouTuber in Vegas, and he would like go to restaurants and they would review them and stuff. He had I was always envious of this because I don't know if I could do it. He had a hard rule. If nobody walks up to him within 10 minutes, he gets up and walks out.
Get up and leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So-
25 minutes. Yeah, I would have got. You should have just.
So now
went
I'm like,
somewhere else.
I thought one girl saw me. She didn't. Or she pretended she didn't. Just on their phones. And I'm like, so I said, I'm going to go say something to them. Husband's like, don't you dare. Not to the people who are serving our food. I was like, well,
It's a decent point.
So I said, I'm going to go to the front. I go to the front. There's no one there. I'm like, so now I'm like looking by the bar, and the first girl who sat us was over there. I was like, sorry, do you think that you could send someone over to our table because no one came by? She's like, oh, really? No one came by? That's strange. I was like, okay. Go
Good
sit
luck.
back down. Right. She's like, I'll get someone. I'm like, okay. It took another 3 whole minutes because I was timing everything for someone to come over. This guy comes, right? And I swear to God, it was like a cloud of marijuana smoke that he came in.
Oh, boy.
with.
Nice.
He came from outside. So I don't know. I don't really know what he was doing out there. He came in and it smelled like.
So
pot.
did you think your order was the funniest order ever?
He's like, hold on.
Popcorn shrimp. What?
So I gave my drink order. My husband gives his drink order. He's writing it down. I'm like, do you really need to write it down for 2 drink orders?
What'd you order?
That's something called an electric lemonade.
Holy shit. Not good. Not good.
It was like vodka plus lemonade or whatever. I don't even know. I honestly don't even know. And
Yeah, that's Windows.
so he starts writing it down. He's like, okay. He repeats it back to us. Not what my husband ordered. I'm like, dude, like, get your shit together. So then he's like, this pen's not working. I'll be right back. And I'm like,
He's been writing for 5 minutes. The page is blank. Like, oh shit.
disappearing ink. So then he's like, comes back. Okay, fine. And I was like, okay. I was like, so I gave him like the kids' orders, and I said, if you can you put the kids' orders in first, because whatever,
Oh,
obviously.
no special instructions. This guy's already can't handle the regular stuff.
Brings out our drinks. Oh wait, do the kids want something to drink? I'm like, well, they have their orders, but thanks. Okay. So I'm not kidding you. It took almost a half an hour for food to come out. That's not normal.
And it's empty.
And it's empty.
Well, maybe
Well,
the
you know what
microwave
that
wasn't
is.
working.
Right. No, what
Right.
happened is they saw they weren't busy and they sent home half the people, or they knew,
That's
so
exactly
they got
what
one guy.
it is.
They got one guy working back there trying to make everything.
Come on, though, dude. And the kids' food came out 2 minutes before ours. And I was like, didn't I fucking tell you, bro? Didn't I fucking tell you? And he goes outside again, and he comes back to the table again with the whiff. And I'm like,
Are you going to share, or what's going on? Here?
right. So he asks for the check. Another 5 minutes. Like, what are you doing? It's really not that hard to hit fucking print. Like, I just don't, like, I'm sorry. Nobody wants to work anymore. Nobody wants to work. No one gives a fuck about their job.
Did you leave a good tip?
Yeah. You want the tip? You want to hear the tip I wrote? Next time, get some better weed.
Oh, did you really write that?
No, but I wanted to. Actually, what I wanted to write was, shit, the 2 different types of weed. Now I'm forgetting. Whoop! Maybe I got a little high there too. What's it called? And wait, Indica versus sativa. I wanted to write that a question mark.
I don't think you would have known what you're talking about.
No, if you're a pot smoker, you do.
I have no idea what that is. Okay,
one is like makes you all happy and woo crazy, and the other one brings you down.
Why would anybody want to be brought down?
Some people need that.
Anyway.
I don't know who these people are getting high at work, to be honest with you. Like, if I have a gummy, I want to be on a couch watching like a movie or a comedy special. I can't function.
Yeah.
I
guess some people I think use it as a sort of way to deal, with like anxieties and stuff like that. So
I don't know how.
like if you're at work, I don't know either. But
No, this guy definitely did not use it for anxiety. He used it to fucking just get fucking high. You could look at him and see that. But why would you do that in between taking orders? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Hold on, hat on backward. TGI Fridays.
very nice.
That's a good
It was
one.
just like, it was just horrible. And then one of my kids wouldn't eat because here's the thing. This is kind of weird. So she got pasta with butter. So what kind of pasta would you think that they would bring with that for a kid?
Like a penny? Yeah, ziti.
Yeah. Right. They brought fettuccine. You laugh. You are you high?
But that's really funny.
I brought fucking fettuccine.
Fettuccine.
And then I was thinking this guy was in the back row, like, give him fettuccine.
Dude, that'd be hilarious.
And my daughter, who's very, very, very picky to begin with, like she only eats certain types of pasta.
She wasn't liking the fettuccine?
She looked at it, she goes, I ain't eating that. And I was like,
did you give her the old, you'll eat every last bite of that, or else you're not getting whatever that, you know.
Yeah, you didn't
I
put
go,
an ice cream?
I hate to tell you, you have to eat that because that's all we have, or you can have
You're not getting a fribble.
Right, or else you could get one of your sister's chicken fingers. I don't like chicken fingers. I go, since when? Today?
That's just the
now.
attitude.
Now
I
I'm
don't like
fucking.
it 'cause I'm pissed.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm raging pissed. My husband's trying to like cut the fettuccine in some way. She's trying to eat it, then she stops. I want fries. I want this. I'm like, oh, I was so livid. Wait, it gets better. He's trying to cut it. She eats some of it, and then she's like, meh. And then she ate some of it. Then she's like, I don't like this anymore. And I was like, you're fucking eating it. She's like, it doesn't taste good. I'm like, okay. It doesn't smell good. I'm like, oh. Then she just sits there and she goes, and she just starts crying. And then I don't know, I started feeling bad, so I start crying.
What?
I never do this.
So you're great in a crisis.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh God, why are you crying? I just felt bad because she looks so sad. I'm like, it's okay. I said, okay, do you want one of your sister's chicken fingers then? Yes. And then this one's like, the little baby Satan goes, she ain't taking my chicken fingers.
Isn't that the worst? When you finally convince one and then the other one will not go along with it.
Yeah, excuse me. I wasn't consulted in this, and no one's taking my chicken fingers. Sorry. I
I'm
plan
like,
on eating all of this.
I said it just took you 30 minutes, literally 30 minutes to eat one chicken finger. She could have one of your chicken fingers. You have 3. So then she eats a chicken finger, fine. Then she's like, okay, I'm done. And my husband's like, check. Right?
Let's get the hell out of here.
Like I said,
Wait, Beth wants to know, if they gave her fettuccine, did they not have lasagna noodles around? Is that what happened?
That'd
Right.
be interesting. That'd be something. Have you ever had a lasagna noodle in something other than lasagna?
It's great.
Is that a thing? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Is that legal?
Right. And then Mercury, did you get contact high? I wish. Believe me.
That would have helped.
It would have helped. So then like he comes back after 5, like I said, after 5 minutes. I gave him less than a 15% tip. Sorry. You're lucky you even got anything. You're lucky you even got anything because you suck at life. You suck at life.
Did he ever come by and do the old, how's everything going? How's everything tonight? Check in on you guys? Did he do that at all?
He said, do you guys need anything else? That's it. Now, there was a manager there. I think he hardly spoke English. He walked around and he goes, your food come out okay? And I was like, so my husband goes, kinda, as he walks by. But like, then another thing, I asked him to get like a kid's water. Another 5 minutes. Like, what are you doing back there? I mean, like, I know what you're doing back there.
He had to go to the back and turn on the hose.
Right. Well, I'm telling you right now, the manager of this Friday is getting a whole big email.
Are you going to be like my mother? Are you going to sit down and write a strongly worded letter?
Oh, absolutely.
Handwritten?
Oh.
Like, what was that last place? What was it, an airline or something you
Dunkin' Donuts.
To last
with
time?
the long
Was it
pumps.
email? And I kept telling you, write a handwritten letter.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
Oh, it was Dunkin'. Well, I don't know.
It was Dunkin'
Maybe it was
Donuts.
Dunkin'?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking
handwritten.
assholes.
I agree with you, though. I think we are facing a major problem
We are.
where nobody wants to work anymore.
Please change the title to what the fuck happened to people never wanting to work in again. Go ahead.
I disagree. I went to a restaurant tonight. It was my my father-in-law's birthday. We went to this nice place. Everybody
What's the name of it?
Couldn't have been nicer.
Bennigan's? Did you go to Bennigan's?
No.
Did you go to Chili's? Had a much better experience.
No. Place Prime.
Are there
House.
400 locations nationwide? Where'd you
What's
go?
it called?
Prime House.
That
Steak
sounds
place.
fancy.
It's a steak
Wh-
place.
Where is it? Oh, it's in Carl Place.
So we went
No,
there.
Garden City, right?
Sure.
That sounds rude when you say it like that. Try again.
I'm trying not to pinpoint every place that I go.
Why?
Also, 99% of our audience don't care because they have no idea
know.
where
Right,
Carl Place
whatever.
is.
So
Actually,
yeah, so
Go
we
ahead.
went there. Everybody was nice. Couldn't have been nicer. Young. There was a young guy. What? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm all screwed up here with my signal. So yeah, we went there. Nice place. A young guy was our waiter. A lot of people, the servers and the runners and all that. Everybody was doing a great job. Zero complaints. And that's, it was very nice. Everything was perfect. So I think you got a few pockets of places that maybe have given
no.
up and
I
don't
would
really
say
care.
fewer and
Mm-mm.
farther between that people are actually good at what they do.
I know, but I feel like I've seen lately an uptick in service because,
What are you
I
out of
don't
your
know.
mind?
I have. In any place that I've dealt with over the phone and other places, it feels like people are trying a little harder these days.
Absolutely
I think since like COVID and stuff, because people were losing jobs, staying home. So I feel like people were, I don't know. That could just be my personal experience. I think that's just been your personal experience. I don't think it's everywhere.
Well, you're going to Prime House.
Anthony-
She's going to TGI Fridays, so that's
Right.
part of the problem.
Yeah,
here.
right.
Well,
Maybe.
but even so,
But that being, I was gonna say, that being said, I don't know. I see a lot more of what Jay Sabs is talking about, where you just go to places and you're like, not even restaurants, but just like places, and you're like, people are just going through the motions, and nobody gives a shit.
nobody gives a fuck.
I feel like everybody is so in this like side hustle. I'm going to be an Instagram influencer. I'm going to make it there so I don't have to try at a career kind of thing. It's like, I feel like that's the wave of where we're at now.
Or- Go
That,
ahead.
I was going to say, that combined with the fact that, I was talking to my neighbor who he's like, so you're not on the radio anymore. He just like, we've been having the same conversation for 4
Is
years.
your neighbor Jay Leno?
No.
Hey, hey.
And I try to explain the podcast to him. It's just right over. He doesn't understand it.
Right.
So because he's
I
like,
don't
you must.
understand it. Go ahead.
He's like, you must miss doing a show, and I'm like, yeah, But he's retired. I go. He goes, you miss being on the radio. I said, no. I said, do you miss working? He goes, I haven't worked in 20 years. I've been retired for 20 years.
Oh,
And I'm like,
It's nice.
well, enjoy it, because my generation is not going to have.
no, definitely not.
And he's a young guy too. Like, he's going to live for another 20, 25 years. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be retired longer than he worked.
Yeah. Hey,
for
listen, if
him.
Republicans take away Social Security, we're never going to be able to retire.
What?
All right. Well, listen, besides that though, I mean, you
Just a
literally,
fact.
you could barely get a matching 401k at most jobs now. Forget that. There used to be like my father has a pension. Who's paying? What job that you look at today is like, there's a pension.
Well, pensions usually come with city jobs, I feel, right? Like government. Like
Did my father have a city job? No.
Didn't he work for a phone company?
That's not the city. That was a private company.
Or not phone. I thought he worked for what's it called, like electric or something. I don't know.
Phone company is a private. My
It's
father worked for
private,
the phone
yeah,
company. Yeah, it's a private thing.
Unions.
Not
That's what you need is unions. Yeah.
I mean, there's just
Union.
there is no what the baby boomer generation got no
You'll never-
longer
oh,
exists.
No, definitely not. Never see that again. Sorry.
And now you have a generation of people, especially coming out of the pandemic, that are like, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to fucking sweat it out taking shit at a cubicle for 25 fucking years so that maybe one day I can fucking retire and barely eke out a living then. That combined with the fact that, there's no, there's no like reward in like sticking with a company and like growing through the ranks. They just don't do that shit anymore.
It's true.
It doesn't really exist.
I think it happens in places, not where we are, but it happens in bigger places that can afford to do that stuff.
I think people are staring down at a life like, that combined with college debt that most of our generation is in, which this is what drives me fucking crazy about people. Oh, you give people a free ride, blah, blah, blah. Dickhead. People went to school, they got a job, they bought a house, they lived the American dream. Now they come out of school in 60 grand in debt. They can't afford a fucking house. You know, their job is going nowhere. And we're blaming these generations like, why don't you want to fucking work for it? Because there ain't a fucking golden carrot at the end of this fucking rainbow like there was for people 25 years ago, 30 years ago. That's why.
They push people to go to college and get so in over their head over debt. And then they get these jobs for 45K, 40K. What do you expect them to do?
What do you expect them to do?
And there's not to make J-Sabs roll her eyes again.
What?
But there's another thing that Republicans don't like when the having the student loans paid off. Getting
that's true. He's right about that. They were the ones who fucking stopped that. But it's both of the parties that and just the society in general. They're so the world has become so keen on returning money to shareholders and big companies, and not so much employees and profits and the health of a company anymore. Like they just don't give a shit anymore. Nobody cares. Everybody's out for their own. So as much as I don't love the younger generations not wanting to work, I understand it.
Who wants to work?
I know, but you have these people out there that are like, oh, and now the new thing is you don't need to own a house. Like you don't need to.
Yeah, that's true. There is a big emphasis on, that's not what it's about.
Well, it was so different. Like, what, 60, 50 years ago? You'd have one income, and you'd have like 10 people living in the house. And it was fine. Now you can barely pay for yourself to live in the house.
Thanks, Biden.
Yeah, okay.
There are not a lot of one-income families anymore that exist in this world.
It's hard. If you got that, then you do it. Then that one income, you got to be making a shit ton of money, and just it's got to be It's got to be at least 200.
But the thing is like if you busted your ass, I see Bird's talking about one of her coworkers have overtime and all this. It used to be you busted your ass, you could rise up in class. You can buy the house or get the vacation home or get the boat, whatever it is. Now you got people working 60 to 80 hours a week just to fucking pay rent on a house with nothing else to their name.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's the kind of society
where you are, though. Too.
I know, but that's the kind of society that makes people start to fucking burn down rich people's homes, and that people start to. That's fucking revolutionary shit. You start to get into if they don't fucking fix this soon. That's probably what we're looking at.
Well, it's also too people will do the bare minimum at their jobs because they know that they don't really have to do more, and they don't care about it. They don't.
Shit on the Republicans again. Minimum wage. They want.
Can you take a minute off? Jesus.
No. Democrats want to raise the minimum wage. Republicans say no. And it's like, well, then stop complaining when you don't. The thing is, get the service that you want.
I could see both sides. I could, because it's tough. I'll give you an example. Where I used to work at a jewelry company, the people who did the actual making of the jewelry, they got paid minimum wage, and they did not want to get paid more because that means that they would lose their free benefits. So even if I remember very clearly this one woman, I was putting in her payroll, and she came to me crying, and she's like, please don't put me down for overtime because I don't want to lose my benefits. And it's like, that sucks.
Yeah, but if her minimum wage was $20 an hour, the benefits, she wouldn't even need the benefits. Probably.
No, that's no.
Yeah, but I got news for you. Minimum wage raises the cost of goods and services. The problem is these companies that are just sucking up massive profits and not paying it out.
That's the thing. You got the people who make the laws making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. You got these people that own the places making millions and millions. But God forbid a worker makes $15 an hour. It's like, no, we can't have that. The whole system will collapse if, God forbid, we give them $3 extra or $4 extra. It's like, come on, that's going to collapse the system. Stop it. It's trying to give the lowest, the literal minimum wage just a little boost. It's not going to, you got millions of dollars. Take maybe $1 million off of that and pay your employees $5 extra, 10 extra bucks. Doesn't seem unreasonable to me.
Well, another thing is too, let me ask you something. How much do you think medical assistants make?
A medical assistant? I don't even know what they do.
So they'll take you in the room. They'll take your blood pressure. They'll take vitals.
Like nurses and
no, medical assistant.
Medical assistant. Okay.
They'll take vitals. They'll ask you what you're coming in for, stuff like that.
Okay. That person should make less than the person that's preparing your food, in my humble opinion.
Okay. All right. They're also inputting information into the computer.
Ooh.
Relaying stuff to the doctor before you come in, giving them like a summary.
Okay. How much?
I wonder in the chat what people think, how much it is for New York.
In New York, it's going to be probably ridiculous.
What are they
How much do you think?
80 grand a year?
No.
60?
Higher?
No.
Higher than that?
Lower.
Oh.
No, 40 grand.
Lower.
Lower than 40 grand? No, that seems like we're getting into dangerous territory.
Yeah, they make $15 an hour. It's totally ridiculous.
So why wouldn't you think? I mean, you got all these people making, the doctors making thousands and thousands of dollars, the insurance companies making thousands and millions of dollars, all these people, and then you don't want to give the guy preparing your food or the people sweeping or mopping or cleaning up after, you don't want to give them a few extra dollars an hour. That seems crazy to me why we wouldn't want to raise the minimum wage to give the middle class and the lower class a little boost.
That's not like a minimum wage aspect because they make more than minimum wage, but it's the fact that companies.
Yeah, but if the minimum was $20, they'd have to make at least $20.
Yeah, but those companies don't really go like that. Minimum wage really is like food, not food workers because they get paid because they work on tips, but like people who work in like fast food joints. That's minimum. That's more around minimum wage, but like people don't understand. Like you said, for that type of job, if you want to keep good people, you have to make them have a reason to stay and not say, I'm going to deal with stress and get paid like dick.
That's what I'm saying. So you give, like, let's pick McDonald's. You got the people working behind there for whatever the minimum, I don't even know what it is now, $10, $12, whatever it is now.
$13.65 in Colorado. I know that.
Okay.
Thanks,
so
Bert.
if you raise the minimum wage, maybe, they'll work hard. I'm sure McDonald's can afford to pay their workers a few extra dollars an hour.
Well, see, that's the point, right? So McDonald's is making God knows how much profits. And they're talking about like, well, if we raise the minimum wage, then we have to charge people more for a burger. When it's like, well, what if you just made a slightly less of a profit?
We can't do that. Wow.
And before everybody, shouts Bernie Sanders and communist at me.
Communist.
If you went from $1 billion in profits to 500 million in profits, how bad would that be, really? See, this is what, and I'm sorry to sound like Frank here, but this is what conservatives and Republicans don't understand. That if you kill profits a little bit and you put more money into lower income and middle-aged workers, the economy will do better because those people will have money to spend.
Of course, they'll buy houses, they'll buy all the products, whatever. Everything will be selling like gangbusters. Your economy will boost if the people who are doing the shopping because the one guy at the top making $1 billion is not going to boost the economy.
Doesn't help.
It's the million people on the bottom who are going to spend all that money.
It doesn't help.
Going to boost the economy.
But that's not the way the world is built right now. The world is built for shareholders and 6-month projections, and how that's the way CEOs are judged, and so that's the way CEOs behave. Like, if I can do something shitty for my workers but increase profits for the next 6 months, I'm going to do it.
Look at, if you take Amazon, billions of dollars that company makes, you can't afford to pay. You raise the Amazon workers $5 an hour each person. How much money would that cost if you make $1 billion? Okay, so now you make, instead of $1 billion, you make 900 million. Is that a problem? I'm sure you could survive.
It's a problem in our society that we need to fix. Again, I feel like a broken record, but the largest time in our country's history of prosperity was the 50s and 60s, when the middle-aged family, the middle-income family, was making the most money, and they had the majority of wealth in our country. Once they no longer had the majority of wealth in our country, we were no longer as vibrant of an economy as we were back then.
Exactly. The middle and lower classes have the money because that's what makes up the majority. Then your economy's going to do good because that's who's spending.
Yeah.
The billionaire's not spending his money. He's hoarding it, and he'll buy one house, and that'll be the end of it. And it'll stock,
I'm not sure Bernie would have made a great president, but the guy certainly has a point. And by the way, like, you ask anybody, like, even who's that fucking guy who runs Dairy Queen there, the big wealth investor guy,
Johnny Dairy Queen.
Johnny Dairy Queen. You're great.
I have no idea.
The fucking old guy who lives in Nebraska who orders McDonald's every day.
Oh,
How do I know? I don't know.
don't know.
What's your point?
Before I get high, da 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 da. I was gonna take your order at TGI Fridays.
Then I got high. And speaking of 420 show coming up, make sure you remember.
Oh, I'm not gonna be here.
Where are you gonna
What are
be?
you talking about?
Before I get high, I'm gonna be eating at TGI Fridays that night.
Nice.
Because I'm definitely gonna get something from that waiter.
Classy.
Hey, he could be your dealer. So 420, we're gonna probably bring on some guests, but you got to be a member to be brought on.
Yes.
So make sure you join the AOA family. Down below, you got the join button. If you're on YouTube watching, there's a join button there. Link at anthonyonair.com. And make sure you join up. There's 3 levels, different prices each level. Pick the one that you like and become a member. It's good stuff. A lot of members in the chat. Warren Buffett.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Brian. Warren Buffett. That was it. What did you order, by the way, Janine? What did you get tonight?
Grilled chicken sandwich.
Remember when TGI Fridays was exciting?
Yes,
You know, like-
I do remember that when I was like
I don't remember
18.
that.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I'm going to get like a big sizzling plate of something and fucking...
I don't remember
Mudslide.
TGI Fridays being
Mudslide,
very
right.
exciting.
It was exciting. It was a thrill. You're like, yeah, fucking go to TGI Fridays. It's going to be a good night. There was a time...
Friendlies. This whole time I'm thinking friendlies. That's why I said fribble before.
Oh, I didn't know what the fuck Fribble was, but I just let it go.
My family, I took the family to TGI Fridays on Saturday.
Oh, did you?
Everybody
Really?
has been violently ill all week long.
No, they got a stomach virus. Not from that though.
Yes, that was probably a stomach virus. I
Do
fucking
they do
love...
something special on Fridays? Is Fridays like their big day? Do they do?
Wait, what? Yeah, they do have something now on Fridays. They have
Because that seems only logical.
something like happy hour all day long or something.
Nice.
That's something. I
Wait,
guess.
what did you get there on Saturday?
At Friendlies?
Yeah. No,
They
you
could-
said you went to Fridays.
Fridays.
No, I just said Friendlies.
Oh.
No, you said Fridays.
See how
Yeah,
easy it
whatever.
is to mix those two up?
I meant Friendlies.
I don't know. Hey, look, we got a new member in the chat. My little spiel worked. Beth Cummings, welcome.
Way to go, Beth.
Welcome.
I
Thanks
love
for being
Beth's
a member.
picture. That's a good picture.
That is a good picture.
I love a Friendlies. I don't know if Friendlies. I feel like Friendlies is a Northeast thing. I don't know if that's a nationwide or international thing.
What? Friendlies?
Friendlies?
Oh, I don't know.
Friendlies
You
I
know
don't
what's
know.
funny? I've never taken my kids there. There
to
isn't one.
Friendlies.
There's not one near me.
Friendlies is where it's at. Listen, if you're comfortable with an ex-convict microwaving your food,
I got no problem with that.
Does he
You-
smoke marijuana? Because I don't think that go outside for marijuana breaks is what I should say.
there's a lot of marijuana. If you're not one for hygiene or sanitariness or
Or
cleanliness,
a guy named Gene who's high.
yes. If you can look past all those things, Friendlies is a good time.
Yeah.
Friendlies is a great time. I don't know what sort of butter crack concoction that they put on their grill, but their toast is like amazing. I'm sure whatever it is, it causes cancer. But I fucking had a sandwich that was like on a toasted buttery like Texas thing.
Yeah, it's butter.
Oh my-
Butter
no,
makes
it-
everything great.
It ain't butter. I don't know. There's butter in it, but there's something else.
Garlic?
It's just greasy awfulness. I don't know what it is, but it's something else.
Lard. They're probably the last place on earth using lard.
It might be lard.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the country's ongoing cholesterol problem?
You know what I discovered literally 2 days ago? That Joe Pesci put out an entire album
Yeah.
as my cousin Vinny.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I'm listening to one of the songs called, I think it's just called Hey Cousin Vinny.
Oh
And
god.
it's so stupid, but it gets caught in your head.
Don't sing it. Don't
No,
do
I'm
it.
not. It's one of these upbeat, like Caribbean style songs, and it's him. It's him through the whole thing, and it's so stupid, but you can't stop listening. I've heard it
Joe
like 10 times.
Pesci is great in every role he's ever done. He's just so fucking good as a mobster. It outshines everything else he did.
That's true. I'm trying to think. What
Did you ever watch With Honors?
with honors?
That's
Yeah.
a fucking great. How
Him
he
and
didn't win a
Brendan Fraser.
goddamn Oscar for that fucking movie is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He was so good in that movie.
What else? Where he wasn't like a criminal. I mean, Home Alone, he was a criminal. He wasn't a mobster, but he was a criminal.
My cousin Vinny, he was a lawyer.
Vinny, he's a lawyer, but he was kind of that, not mobster, but he had that kind of air.
Who are you
about him.
talking about?
The Super.
The
Remember?
Super. The Super. Underrated.
Yeah, you can't you can't get on a streaming service a fucking movie with Joe Pesci in it where he's not a mobster. They just are ignoring his entire work.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else where he's not.
All right, listen. 3 more topics. Diplo getting blown by a guy, grower versus shower, and stealthing. Where do you want to go next?
Boy,
You pick.
that's loaded. But that's what she said.
J-Sabs, your choice.
How about we go stealthing?
Okay. Do you know what stealthing is?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. So J-Sabs is guilty of committing this crime.
Absolutely.
Stealthing is when sex is agreed upon with a condom, but I believe the dude, for the most part, I guess a chick could be guilty of this, though.
Guilty.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated.
Guilty. Guilty.
The condom is removed during intercourse.
How could the girl be without the other person's knowledge?
Maybe the other person. I love how I paused so long. Frank thought his internet was broken.
I did. That's why everybody was frozen. It looked like what the hell?
Eh?
Let me say this to you right now. I would not have a son if it wasn't for stealthing. Okay.
It's
Now,
nice.
little did I know that this was an almost illegal act that my wife committed, but
How could you not be aware of that? I mean, I feel like that's something the guy would do.
some people drink too much, Frank.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fucked up.
So that's what stealthing is. Actually, they're actually talking about it. So it's illegal in, I think, California right now.
Pussies.
It's not a nationwide thing, but they're talking about it almost being considered the R word.
Rape.
Wow.
What?
Hmm.
I mean, it is fucked up.
You know, it could be pretty fucked up when you think about it under certain circumstances. You don't think so, Jason?
It's not fucked up if the guy says, yeah, condom, and then he just never puts it on.
I could see.
Or he takes it off.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it just for the pregnancy part. But obviously, people wear condoms just for more reasons, like not to get diseases if one other person has it. All right. Besides the diseases part, let's just throw that out of the mix. I mean, we can all agree that obviously condoms are gross and also they don't feel good. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, but I feel like both parties have to be on the same page with we're either using it or we're not.
Oh, Frank. I don't know. I'm not gonna even go there.
I would be pissed if I was a chick. If I was a chick, can girls even tell? Like a guy can tell.
Yeah.
Like the second one of those things break, it is like.
I never had one break.
Yeah.
The millions of guys I've been with, I still never.
For a guy, a condom breaking is like going from the corner candy store to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Like that's the difference. And like, I think the condom broke.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's a horrible analogy.
Am I wrong? I might be 6 beers in.
Sunshine.
But I don't
The
think
condom man
Wait,
can.
want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
This just reminded me.
The condom man can.
My father, right? My father was married before my mom. When he was very young, he got some woman pregnant. And I said to him, because I don't give a fuck. I was like, did you wear a condom or did you not use any? He goes, I don't remember. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't remember? Don't you think you would know? I was like, were you drunk? He goes, no. And I'm like,
It was the 60s, baby. Who knew what was going on?
I was like, how do you not know? Like, if you thought about it really hard right now, could you remember? He's like, I don't know. Maybe. I'm like, oh.
that's a guy who's laid a lot of pipe in his lifetime.
Think so?
Oh yeah. Your father? Hell yeah. Your father racked it up, no doubt in my mind.
With his accent, he's like, you want to know where I'm from? Guess where I'm from.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
invented
baby.
bread.
I invented
Plaid. That's a good pickup line.
You know how much fucking ass you can get with I invented plaid? It's endless. It's ass on tap.
Yes, from your ass on top.
All right, so that's stealthing. I don't know. I didn't even know this was a fucking thing. Who would sneak a condom off? I mean, that you have got to be a special kind of person.
Yeah, I know. Who would do that?
A nice scumbag would do that.
I mean, besides my wife, let's put that aside. For a dude to do that, that is shady.
Some sneaky, shady
That's
shit.
me taking a condom off and just throw it to the side and just keep going.
See, Mom, you're not supposed to talk when you mime something.
What? Right.
I'm in a box.
You couldn't see my whole hand. That's why.
Oh, all right.
I even understand a girl doing it. Like that, it makes sense to me. You want to trap the guy? All right, I got no problem with that. It's fine. If that's your game. But a dude doing it, yeah, I mean,
He wants to trap his seed. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
No good. No good, folks. Be on the same page.
Yeah, don't do that.
It also, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too personal here, but I can remember being on the dating scene and getting to those moments and getting concerned when the girl's like, do you have a condom? Like if the girl didn't ask for a condom, I'd be like, no, I don't want to do this because if that's not your standard protocol, I don't know what we're going into here. You know what I'm saying? Am I alone on that, Frank?
Well, you're allowed to bring it up too. You're allowed to bring that topic up.
Yeah, no, true. But
You know
like,
Frank Raw Dog. Probably everyone who was
he
with.
probably did. Fucking raw dog and son of a
And
bitch.
you're gonna like this. What
Look at him.
condom?
His nickname was Raw Dog.
He's stretching the condom. He's stretching the condom and he's doing this. What condom?
I'm making balloon animals with it.
All right, 2 more topics.
Do you want
Grower versus shower. Sorry, Frank, I'm losing you. Grower versus shower or Diplo getting a BJ
No.
from a dude?
Diplo getting a BJ from a dude.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not 100% on who Diplo is, so
He's a fuck. I know
he's like
singer.
a DJ or he's a singer.
DJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't, but I can't name one thing he's.
Name a song, Janine. I actually don't. Now that you just said that, I don't know what fucking song of his.
I can't name one thing.
Yes, you do. You
Look,
know it.
Janine's
you
Googling
know
it real quick.
My hands are here.
All right, so what?
Usually my
name
hands
a
are in my
song.
pants when I'm doing the podcast. So you're lucky tonight.
That's called the Diplo. Or the low dip. What? Name one song.
You know songs.
Okay. Name a song.
The most recent one. Whatchamacallit?
Yeah,
With
see, I'm
that
not
girl.
alone here.
With that girl. What's her name?
Let me see.
That's fucking out of my life. And then you know that one. Wait a minute. Did he sing that one? With
BB
her?
Rexa?
All right, hold on. Where Are You Now with Justin Bieber has 1 billion streams on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah, never heard of it.
You know that song.
No, I don't know if I know this
Nope.
one.
You don't know that song?
Never heard it.
Oh yeah, you've heard this.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, you've heard that.
That weird part sounds familiar, but I don't know.
So he's like a DJ
I
guy,
wouldn't have
right?
known the name, and I wouldn't have known who Diplo was. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
All right, so he's a DJ guy. So he goes
Nope,
on.
J-Sabs.
He goes on. Oh, he goes on Emily Ratajkowski's podcast
Uh-huh.
and says, I'm trying to bring up the clip here. Okay, here.
Sure, I got a blowjob from a guy before.
You're sure that's happened?
Yeah.
And you just don't remember?
I mean,
You're saying you're not committing to it, but you're saying you're sure it happened,
for sure.
but you don't have a specific memory of it.
Like, I don't know if it's gay unless you like make eye contact while there's a blowjob.
That's
happening.
such a straight guy thing to say.
But it's, I mean, getting a blowjob is not.
That's the funniest thing. That's the funniest thing. I've
Unless you
ever-
make eye contact.
It's not gay unless you
So
make
glory holes, I guess, are open business.
It's kind of a great line.
Could have been at a
For-
glory hole.
Listen, when I said Emily Ratajkowski podcast, did you have much hope for it? And then you get a line like, it's not gay unless you look at it. It's a good
That's
line.
something. It's a line. I think. Who
then-
cares though? Like if
For her,
we all
wait,
found
wait.
out Diplo was gay, would that change your life at
No.
all?
But for her to counter
gives
with,
a shit?
that's the straightest thing you could say, is kind of a funny little fucking
Unless you, like,
exchange.
make eye contact while there's a blowjob.
That's
happening.
such a straight guy thing to say.
But
That's
I mean,
funny.
getting a blowjob is not that gay. I think.
I don't know. You tell me.
Wait, what?
All right, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, this guy is getting so much ass and blowjobs, clearly in group settings, that he's like, I probably got a blowjob from a guy. I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of blowjobs, Frank. Oh, I lost Frank.
Yeah, I feel like that's something
Oh, there you
you or I would remember in our lifetime. But a guy like Diplo, maybe he doesn't remember those things. It happens so often.
go. Yeah.
It could have been almost anybody.
I would say 99% of men in the United States remember just about everybody who's ever given them a blowjob.
Yeah.
It's
I would
just,
imagine so.
it's not something that you forget.
Yeah. I mean,
You may forget
unless
for a
you got-
time being like, oh, I forgot about that in 2000 or whatever. But for the most part, you're not going to be like, I don't know. It could have been a dude. And you know what's hysterical about this is this was a line in The Office, maybe, where Creed is like, you know, it's like, oh, I never made love to, or I made love to so many people in the 70s. A man could have slipped in there. Who knows? Like, it's that kind of like, we're getting laid so much. Who fucking knows who is in the
Mhm.
mix?
And honestly, I mean, if he would have said, Yeah, I do it with dudes or I do it with women. I feel like everybody would be like, "Good for you."
Well, no, I don't think anybody's judging him
Okay,
for being.
there's no shame in that game.
No, nobody's shaming him
what
for
you gotta do.
being gay. But I just this idea of like, I can't remember if I got a blowjob from a guy, and even if I did, it's not really gay. Like, it's kind of an hysterical premise. All right, now I will say this: I've been thinking about this since I first heard this clip, and I have to be honest with you. I agree that getting a blowjob from a guy is the least gay activity you can partake in.
What about a hand job from a guy?
Second least gay activity you can partake in. That would be less
What if
gay.
he just slaps it around for a while?
Like, I think it's less gay. And these same rules can apply to straight. It could be less straight, more straight. It's less gay to get a blowjob from a guy than it is to kiss a guy. Do you agree with that? Like, let's say you're a gay person. Let's say you're a lesbian and you kiss a dude. That is more of a straight activity. A lesbian kissing a guy is more of a straight activity than a lesbian just getting oral from a dude. Just to show that there's no bias here. There's no anti-homophobic, it's a homophobic thing here.
I don't know, because it's like isn't that just another form of a kiss? Just a kiss somewhere else on you?
No, but I think the thing is like it's happening
in a more
to
personal
you.
place.
Like it's happening to you. Like if you kiss a dude.
Yeah, but it's 50-50 though. You're just as much a part of it.
Yeah, but I'm picturing your Diplo. You walk into a room, it's a Diplo gangbang, and you're high off of whatever Molly ecstasy shit going on. You're not going to keep track of everybody that's blowing you in that particular evening.
I mean, you're not making a list, but I mean, I feel like who's this? All right,
who's down there?
What's going on here?
Did you hear about Newman? Only 3 people are gonna get that.
I know, it's another Seinfeld reference. But you know what it is though. Like, if it's gay or not, it's not. It shouldn't even like. Whatever it is, it is.
No, it doesn't matter. It's not a judgment thing. It's like a fun exercise to talk about. Like, what's the most gay and least gay activity? You could easily say, what's the most straight and least straight activity? Like the same rules apply. Like if you're talking about kissing, hand jobs, oral, sex, like you could if you had to rank these things as to what's the most straight / most gay, I think there really is an order to that list. Because I think if
there's all these factors you gotta factor in all these different variables too.
Like
the eye contact thing, or are you both completely naked? Is there anybody else in the room? I don't know. Is something else going on at the same time? I have no idea how to judge any of this.
I agree with Diplo that getting a blowjob or getting oral from a same-sex person is less, or is not, quote, not that gay or less gay or not that straight, less straight than if you were performing the act. Like if you got a blowjob from a dude, that is less gay to me than if you blew a dude.
Okay.
Same for a lesbian. If a guy goes down on a lesbian, that is less straight than if a lesbian blows a guy. Like I would imagine that if there were a bunch of lesbians here having this conversation, that particular lesbian would get shamed, or they would give that lesbian shit for being like, yeah, but you blew a guy.
I've had too much beer for this. I can't keep track of who's blowing who anymore.
That's Diplo's problem. That's the exact same. That's how we got.
You know what? If I can't keep track of it, I can understand it blowing. Yeah, maybe it happened. I don't know. It could have. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Gets my point.
I think that the whole, if you had it, if he had it, if he had a guy do that to him, then who cares what it's called? If he's
No,
comfortable
nobody
with that,
cares.
he's
It's not a
comfortable with that.
judgment thing. Nobody
So
cares.
stop
Nobody's
judging
like,
him.
I'm not judging him. I'm not
I
judging
don't know
him.
why you're so homophobic, Anthony. I
Will you
mean,
stop
every
it?
time with this.
I don't care if Diplo's gay. It doesn't matter. But I love his this idea of like there are degrees of sexual activity. I think it's true. Okay, for instance, wait, hold on. We got a couple of good comments here. Mercury gets my point. Raven's got a joke. What do you call a lesbian with long nails? Single. Bird, I don't care and will put my mouth on anybody. See, there you go.
There you go. That's fun for everyone.
Yeah. Like when you'll hear this sometimes from prostitutes where they're like they will have sex with somebody, they'll even give the back door up for somebody, but they won't kiss a guy or you know what I'm saying? No kissing.
Right.
You could pay for sex. There's no kissing because that's viewed as intimate. Like I think it's interesting that there is a ranking system to sexual acts and how important they are to people.
Right. No, I got you. I get it. I get there's different levels of, just like there's different levels of activity for any couple, anybody doing anything.
Yeah.
There's different stages of the whole thing of where you're at.
Because, for instance, you can have a guy, like, because again, I'm assuming Diplo's crazy. I remix Justin Bieber songs world, and everybody's fucked up in a club, and it's 3:00 in the morning, and there's like 40 people banging in a room, right? And you're making out with some chick, and you're getting a blowjob, and you have no idea who is blowing you, right? You have just.
I feel like I would probably look down for a second. I'm like, huh? All right.
You've never been in that situation. Maybe there's not time to look down. Who knows?
There's no time to look down?
I don't know. I have no idea. I've never been invited to a Diplo gangbang.
Yeah, no, me neither. I feel like just for a second you go, oh, all right.
Who's down there?
What's happening down there? We all good? All right, we're good. You need anything? No? Good.
Do you need anything?
while I'm up here? I don't know.
But it's weird, but it's true. I don't know where I was going with this fucking point now. Shit.
It's just like, I don't even...
Okay.
That was
Oh,
good.
all right. Let's say Diplo was a staunch. Let's say he was a homophobic. Like, I'm not gay. To hell with gay. Like, he doesn't seem like it matters, which is great. But let's say he's like not a gay guy, and you go through an orgy in a night, and then you're having your coffee the next morning. There's the post-orgy recap. I assume. I don't know how it all works, but I assume people wake up and they go get some eggs. Yeah, I don't know. And let's say you're having.
They talk about how was Dave? That's great.
And let's say somebody goes, "Oh, Diplo, I'm surprised you let Greg blow you." And Diplo's like, "Oh, Greg blew me last night. I had no idea." Like that.
Uh-huh.
That's. I could see Diplo if he wanted to say, "Well, that's not gay. I didn't know Greg was down there blowing me. I didn't give Greg permission. I did, however, walk into the room where people were blowing. I get it. People blow people.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're not, people blow people. But I feel like if you're not checking, you got to be okay with whoever's down there.
Well, I think
you got to be okay with anybody in the room. It could be up for grabs when it comes to what's going on down there.
Again, I don't know.
If you're not going to check, if you're not looking and making sure who's doing what, then you got to be A-okay with literally everybody in the room being a possibility.
Again, I've never been invited to a drug-filled orgy, but I would assume if you walk into a drug-filled orgy room high on drugs, you are consenting to my mouth and anybody's mouth could wind up on anything at any given moment of the evening, right?
Right. Are we assuming he's high on drugs? Do we know this?
I'm going to guess that. I'm not. He might not be. Who knows?
I don't know.
But I don't know if you could work with Justin Bieber and not get a little high. I'm not quite sure.
I think that's probably a requirement.
It's rough singing right there to be like, oh, that was a good take, Justin. Way to go. You got to be a little.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, that was great. Can't tell you how much I enjoyed that.
Yeah. So that's my point. Like you could commit a an act and not particularly no. Again, either way, if
But
you're
look at
straight,
Bird.
you could.
But look at Bird's comment. No, assumed consent is not consent. Absolutely. But if everybody in the room is banging everybody, you got to be okay, I guess. You got to be willing to be like, oh, Diplo was assaulted and we're all jerks.
Diplo was assaulted? He didn't say that in the podcast.
No, he said he got blown by a guy.
Yeah,
he was okay with it, right?
He seemed like he didn't mind. You know.
Yeah, he didn't seem like it was forced on him or he didn't know. I think he said I think it happened.
Again, if you walk into an orgy, I'm on Bird's page, like consent. But I think if you walk into a drug-filled orgy, high on drugs yourself, I don't think you're particularly too concerned with what's going to happen to you on that particular evening.
That's the point. I don't think you're being too picky. You're looking around going, anything
whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I'm in here because I think something, and if you're not, my point is, if you're not going to look down to check who's doing what to you, then you're probably okay with anybody in the room.
It doesn't matter, yeah, because you're getting whatever you're getting, and you're happy with that, But again, my point still stands, is that you can have a gay act, or if you're gay, have a straight act, and not be aware of it whatsoever.
What do you mean, be aware of it? Oh, like that, like a glory hole situation.
Like a glory hole situation, or you walk into the drug-filled orgy and you're like, whatever happens, happens.
I mean, bottom line, Diplo seemed cool with it, and whatever Diplo does with consenting adults, it's all good.
I think Diplo is using this to get more ass, to be honest with you, because he's like, I don't know, a guy could have blown me. I'm such a free spirit. And then she goes, that's the straightest thing you could say. I think chicks are going to look at this and be like, he's pretty cute. Like he's so free spirited. I have to blow him. I think that's what he's doing.
He's such a free spirit. I got to blow him.
Yeah.
That's the only logical conclusion one can reach.
Yeah. I think
you see a free spirit, you just got to blow him.
By the way, I Googled Diplo afterwards, and there's a lot of pictures of him shirtless, chiseled. This fucker knows what he's doing. This was a PR campaign that was executed to perfection.
Hey, that's all right. I wouldn't have been able to pick Diplo out of a crowd.
No, neither would I.
No idea. I saw the video of him on
Getting Blown.
What's her name's show, and I still don't know what he looks like.
Emily. Yeah, I know, right? I know. It is so true. You couldn't pick this fucker out of a crowd. It is the truth.
I don't know who he is. I couldn't name a song. I heard that song you played me. I already forgot it.
Yeah. I'll say like 30 years ago, it would have been like, oh, that guy's gay. Today, I think people are going to look at him and go, that guy's cool as shit. He doesn't care who's blowing him. He's just getting blowjob. Yeah. He's just, as long as you're getting blown today, it's a good day.
Plus, I think the whole gay straight thing, it's all a spectrum that you could be anywhere on, and to be like that is 100% gay or 100%, you can't. I don't think that's a thing. Like it is, but I think for a lot of people there's that wavy kind of gray area, and it doesn't matter. Well,
it's not so much a gray area as he clearly states. If you don't look the guy in the eye, it's not gay.
Which is, I mean, he may say it's not gay, but it's, it pushes the line away from the straight thing a little, away from 100% straight.
It's kind of true, though, the glory hole analogy. If you stick your penis in a glory hole, there's no telling what's on the other side of that thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're consenting to, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever's going on, I'm good. So, listen, whatever Diplo's into, go for it. As long
good
as
for Diplo.
Adults.
Yeah. All I know is, Frank, I've never been remotely close to a situation where I've never been cool enough to be like, who we got to get at our orgy? It's that Anthony.
He would kick this orgy up a notch to a level we have never seen before.
Denise, you got to put on the orgy e-blast. Is that Anthony over there? He's really going to bring the whole thing together.
He would liven this fucker up, let me tell you. At the very least, he's bringing the wings.
Only if they wanted better food, would I get invited.
You want a good caterer at your orgy?
Yeah.
This fucking guy right here. You do the seafood bake right in the middle
Yeah.
on the big table.
Feels like Aunt wouldn't show up empty-handed. I wouldn't. What do you bring to an orgy? You got to bring something, don't you?
You probably bring like a big case of beer or something.
Alcohol. You don't think you bring chips and dip? Probably not, right? Some Lay's.
I feel like I'm probably staying away from the dip at an orgy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go into the dip.
What's the food? Yeah, what's the food situation at an orgy? It can't be anything heavy. You can't bring wings.
I feel like 6 Foot Hero would be nice.
6 Foot Hero is a party no matter what. It's a good point. It's a good point.
That's a showstopper every time. You know, while you're orgying,
Yeah.
you know, you look over at the table, you're like, oh shit, I gotta get that Italian Hero before it's gone.
Yeah, that's what
the Italian Hero is enough to pull you right out of the orgy and go, all right, I gotta get this before you're standing there with your, I don't know, your macaroni salad and your fucking sandwich. It's nice.
You look down and there's a guy blowing you. Oh, hey, I didn't know it's fucking Diplo.
Hey, Diplo.
See, that'd be my problem. If I ever went to an orgy, I'd be like, let's go. They were like, do you want to go into that room? I'd be like, let's take a look at that hero sandwich, though, and see what's going on.
Crack that sucker open. Why is the plastic still on that?
Fucking starving over here. Yeah, I agree. No, I agree.
Let's unwrap that
Charcuterie
son of a
board,
bitch.
a crudité. I feel like crudité is an orgy. Some veggie, some carrots,
seems-
some celery.
Yeah, but then you got that ranch dressing. I don't know if ranch dressing is a good
You're right.
orgy food. Maybe
You're
not.
right. I mean,
Wings
there's-
is probably no good. Anything you got to eat that gets your hands messed up is probably not a good orgy food.
Mm.
You want to keep that, like soup is probably not a good orgy food either.
No, I wouldn't
You
think
don't want to
so.
spill soup on your. You don't want to eat soup while you're naked. Is my point.
Let's get some blowjobs for the table for everybody.
Right.
Mm.
Do I? Then can you? Oh, I see. But yeah, no, good food. Nachos. Is nachos a good orgy food? That's a
I wouldn't think
shareable-
so.
See, because that's something that you share, and I feel like at an orgy, it's all about sharing.
Doritos? Is Doritos a good orgy food item? I don't even know.
No, because you get that powder on your fingers. That's no good. There better be a sink in that room. That's all
Imagine
I'm saying.
you see your wife. She's got a huge Dorito handprint on her tit. Who the fuck?
What the hell is that? Is that Cool Ranch? You bitch. No.
I saw Jacob over there fucking having a field day with them Doritos. I don't know. If there's ever been
You
two
wanna
guys
keep your
who've
hands
never
clean.
been invited to an orgy, it's these two on your screen right now.
Yeah, that's for friggin' sure.
Yeah, you got to keep it. I agree. No cheese puffs. You can't have a cheese puff.
See, now Beth says no one eats food at orgies. I feel like that's going to be the wave of the future. Then that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I feel like catering companies. Imagine you call up a catering company, give me a couple of chafing dishes, maybe a carving station, and you
Roast beef.
We're having an orgy. Come on, do you think they would do that?
We're having an orgy.
You think that's against catering policy? Is it like not hygienic?
Can you call up a catering company and be like, you have an orgy package? Do you have something? I don't know. I mean, but you got to
Maybe a
have
spit roast of some kind.
I would assume you need some waters and Gatorades. I would think that orgies go on for quite some time.
You have to have an electrolyte replenishing station.
Right?
And I would guess like one of those showers they have in like science labs.
Mm.
And you pull a chain and it fucking douses you.
What about a hot pocket? Is that a good orgy item?
No, that's again. It has to be something you could eat while you're naked. And I feel like hot pocket. That's ripe for like 3rd-degree burns.
What do they call it? Like a pizza roll? What are little
Like
pizza rolls?
Tostinos.
Yeah, little
pizza rolls.
Little Totino's pizza rolls.
Imagine there's an orgy going on and you just hear beep beep. The freaking microwave going.
Oh, the Totinos must be.
The Totinos are done. See, like shepherd's pie is probably not good.
No, you
have
can't.
something.
I feel like
a good hero.
Can I tell you something? I feel like we've stumbled upon a marketing campaign for the Totinos people. They could be like, "Hey, next orgy, make sure you get some Totinos." You
It's an
know,
untapped market, so to speak.
what about what's the pretzel with the cheese in the middle? A combo.
Combos.
Combos are
See,
kind of little.
The advertising writes itself.
There you go. If you're gonna combo your sex night, have some combos. Yeah. Would you mute yourself? What's going on here, Frank? I lost you. You're muted. Let me unmute you. Oh. No, we lost Frankie C. I don't know what's happening. Oh, see, I think your wife cut out your microphone. Too much orgy talk. Can anybody hear Frank? Because I can't hear Frank. No, it's telling me your microphone is not connected. You keep talking. I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. I feel like he's got so many more good jokes that we're missing. Nobody can hear you. See, I'm not fucking with you. See, this is what microphone. His mic didn't have enough Totinos. That's what it is. All right, we were wrapping it up too. I hate to end the show without Frankie C, but it looks like we lost him. I'm gonna leave him on screen though because it's hysterical to watch him panic and motion that I haven't done anything to my microphone, but it's not working. He's on a roll and nobody can hear. I feel the same way. I feel like Frank is cranking out the best material of his lifetime and we can't hear a fucking word of it. It's driving me crazy. This goddamn technology. He's being I don't know what's happening. All right, that's it for us. It was a hell of a St. Patrick's show. Appreciate everybody for being a part of it. Thank you to all the comments. Thanks to all the subscribers. Remember, don't forget to join the AOA podcast members area. That's on YouTube. There are links in the description below of this episode. You can join for as low as $2.99 a month. And that gets you all sorts of exclusives. We had an extra podcast this week that you can catch up on. There's always stuff like that. Of course, you can join us on the 420 show, like Frank said earlier. That's a whole part of it. And then, you can get invited to one of those Diplo orgies that we were just talking about. That also comes with your membership. Not promised, but we'll do our best. Appreciate all you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. I can't believe I survived with this hat. It's like 1,000 degrees in this hat the entire episode, but we did it. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Appreciate all the likes and shares. Make sure you drop this on your Facebook page. Make sure you put a link on your Instagram story so everybody knows that we're here and that you're enjoying the podcast. Oh, you back?
I'm back, I think. Can you hear me?
Oh, you made it right on time for the ending.
Excellent. Become a member, folks. Did you tell them that already?
Yeah.
All right, good. Glad I made it for that.
We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Show me potato salad.
Maybe we
Happy
should
St.
go
Patrick's
now.
Day.
Go ahead.